Okay, so here's our finished normal map, and as you can see, it's running like crap. Well, you probably can't see, but I can. It is running like crap. So basically, once we've got our normal map finished and we like how it looks and all that jazz, what we're going to do is collapse the normal group. So just wait for this to do something. And this always takes ages. Come on. Thank you. So merge that, and right after we merge it, we'll instantly see all our performance comes back. There we go. Much better. Now at this point we don't need Undo 2 at the moment, so I'll just minimize that. And let's have a look at this. Alright, so we've essentially taken all the detail from our grayscale. You can see it all matching up nicely there. Converted the height information into a normal map, applied it to our normal map we baked from XNormal, and now we have a much nicer looking map. But there's a problem with it. It still looks very, very flat and bland and uninteresting. So what we're going to do is put on some scratches and noise and all that crap. So actually what we want to do is we're going to grab an image that sort of has the same sort of, or has what we're looking for, so scratches and dents and stuff like that. So I'm just going to have a look at what I've got. So images, let's have a look at metal. Oh, oops, not saying that. Idiot. Open. Images, metal. Here we go. Actually, let's see what I've got. So what we're going to do is take a normal photo image, anyone off the net, it'll do, make it a tileable texture, place it over our normal map, then use Undo 2 to convert it into another normal map, which we're going to overlay on top of what we've already got. So if I can find, that might do. Basically, you want to look for an image that has very high contrast, like this one, and it's suitable size. This one's nearly over 2K, so we can easily turn this into a tileable texture and use it without having too much loss of detail. So open that, and yeah, I think this will work nicely. Now, first thing we want to do is to get rid of all the parts of the image that will cause a noticeable tiling effect. So parts like this. Now what they're doing. Stop making me look bad. So parts like this, all of this, that, and maybe this thing here. This definitely. Alright, so I'll just drop the opacity of that, make it green so I can see it. Alright, so this is an easy operation. Basically all we want to do is zoom on in, take our healing brush, even a decent size, pick an area to clone from, so you just hold Alt and click an area, so I'll just click on this yellow part here and paint over. So we'll do the same over here. Let's clean that up a bit more. Yep. Over here. Over here is going to be a bit of a problem. So what we want to do instead is grab our selection box, take a selection that's roughly the size of it, copy it, paste it into a new layer, and then just smack it over. And merge those layers, and then we're just going to blend in these things so we don't have them anymore. So again, healing tool, just blend those in. Just get rid of any things that stick out. Like for instance, this seam here, it's probably going to be annoying, so we'll get rid of it eventually. So just sort of blend it in. Likely this part doesn't really take that long, so yeah, that's good. Let's see this too. That's fine. This we can just paint over. Okay. Actually, that can go too. And this. And get rid of that tile. Okay. Now it's just this bit. Now again, we'll just take selection. That'll do. Copy paste. And whack it over there. Merge it and paint over the seams. So I'll get a bigger brush this time. Just being mindful, the bigger the brush when using the healing tool, the longer it'll take for Photoshop to blend it into the original image. So if you're working with a really large picture, it could take a while. Luckily this isn't too bad. Now, we don't need to worry about any sort of... we don't need that anymore. We don't need to worry about any sort of color matching, because what we're going to do is turn it into a grayscale. Well, firstly, we're going to essentially get rid of all of the yellow and only have the brown rust scratches, which we can then turn into a normal map. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see in the end. Alright, so now we have... Oh, now we've pretty much fixed all the issues with it, except for this bit. Go away, don't want you. Yeah, looks good. Now we just want to make it perfectly square, so make it 2100 by 2100. There we go. Now, to make it tileable, we'll go filter, offset, and since it was 2100, and I'm terrible at math, 2100 divided by 2 is 1050. So, make that 1050 on that side, and 1050 on that side. And if you've got a sort of tiled, sort of brick-looky thing, then you're going right. Now the only thing left to do is to grab our healing brush again and get rid of these seams. So same process as before. Just blur and blend in the edges. And any outstanding artifacts you might want to get rid of. So, okay, a bit of blend, get any of that crap, and there we go. That should work. Now if we hit Control F to do redo the last filter effect, you can see there's no problems either way. There's the original, there's the tiled. It's good now. Alrighty, now I want to change that into a proper layer. Double click on that to get our image effects. Now, basically what we need to do is firstly we need a control layer, so we'll just make that a flat, we'll make that white. Oops. Okay. Basically we want to go back into the layer cell blending options thingo. Actually, we want to get rid of all the yellow. Now, we could easily do this by going select, color range, and select the yellow and delete it, but that'll leave artifacts and jagged edges and everything. What we want to do is blend if green and move the slider so it only leaves the scratches. Now, we can Alt click this little arrow, and that'll control the fall off of our blend. So if we do it to about 65 to say 150. That actually looks quite good. Okay. Now we'll just collapse that by making a new layer and merging it with that. And now we've got only our scratches, and there's no jagged edges. Everything's still quite smooth. This is exactly what we want. Now, the only thing left to do is to bring up and do 2 again. Well, you can fuck off. I said fuck off. Fuck off. Thank you. Okay. Now, we just invert this so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Okay. Now, as before, we'll make a new layer, hide them, go into undo 2 and convert that. So now we have our base channel. Now we want to grab our scratch layer, make is tileable turned on, and convert. And there we go. And now we have some nice sort of scratches and dents and stuff. We could make this dig down, so that could look a bit better. And yeah, it does. Considering we're sort of trying to go for a sort of scratched metal paint sort of look, so naturally scratches would all indent downwards. Put up the softness about 2. Curve, make it a log. And shape, try chiseled. Actually, I might get rid of that log. Let me know it looked alright. Wait for it to update. About 2. Yep, there we go. That looks much better. Okay, now we've got our sort of scratch map. So we'll just collapse that by going Control-Shift-W to collapse everything. Oh, sorry, Control-Shift-E, which merges all visible layers. And get rid of that. And now, once again, we'll minimize and do 2. We'll... another thing we need to, considering our wall normal map is a 4K map, we want this to be a 2K map which we can tile 4 times. So we'll just resize this to 2048. Control A to select all, copy it, and dump it in here. So now we have our normal map in here. So we'll just make sure our snap is on. It is. Move that there. Copy it. You can easily copy things by having a layer selected, then holding Shift Alt, and moving it, and it'll create a duplicate. So something to remember. And do that one more time. Make sure there are no seams, which there are. So we'll just fix that quickly. And that one. So this one up. Okay, so we'll just merge them, and again we'll just get rid of these seams. Luckily we don't need so big of a brush this time. Just quickly do that. Now, because this will be plastered over a map that's UV'd, there is very little chance of us actually noticing a tiled effect on this. Almost done. I just need to fix that. I'll just paint it in purple. So, like so, and there we go. Okay, now we'll hide that, bring up our normal map, and we'll make this a hard light. There we go. Now it's nice sort of scratch effects over our normal map. It actually looks quite nice. Now we'll just save this out, jump it into Maya, and see how it looks. Let's save this. There it is, a TNG, more, okay. Should only be 24 bits since we don't have an alpha channel. And we'll have a look at Maya. Now right now this is previewing the blockout channel, which was just black grayscale. So we'll just update the texture and see how it looks. Reload. Much better. This looks much better. So let's create a light and see how the light plays on it. So it helps to increase the specular and make it tighter so we can actually see what the normal map is doing. That. So that is very nice. Now we have a very nice looking tileable normal map. It's completely seamless. So, there we go. That's how make a very nice looking normal map inside Photoshop using Endo 2. So just a few basic steps and we'll end up with a normal map that's very good looking. Now in the next part we'll have a look at getting our SplatMap working, and then after that we'll be importing it into UDK and setting up a material for it to get it looking as good as possible.